Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election. Have you heard that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress and the INEC declared president-elect, has called on security agents to go and caution Peter Obi for allegedly inciting statements, and that they should also, the NBC, National Broadcasting Commission of Nigeria, should also go and warn the television stations, Arise TV and Channels Television, for granting audience to Peter Obi to talk to Nigerians. So that's what I'm going to discuss with you right now. And as we go into it, what I will discuss, my intervention will be intermittently, or as when I finish going through some of the things, allegations they made against Peter Obi, then I will give you my own understanding or interpretation of what's going on here. Now, before I go further to intimate you on this latest development on the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria, if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. Bola Tinubu, the INEC declared president-elect from Nigeria's flawed 2023 presidential election, according to international and local observers as well as stakeholders, has called on security agencies to warn Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi about inciting remarks. What is inciting remarks? Inciting remarks means remarks that could lead to revolt against constituted authority, and that could result to so many other things. Tinubu also urged the National Broadcasting Commission to sanction broadcast stations in the country that gave undue access to Obi, his main rival in the recently concluded election. He said that to sanction the media stations that give Obi undue access. The last time I checked, Obi is not enjoying any undue access. In fact, those major stations invited Peter Obi. They were the ones that invited him. If you see from the beginning of the program, you see them saying that, thank you for honoring our invitation. When they were about to close, they will also remind you that it was they that invited Peter Obi. They didn't give him undue access. They were the ones that invited him. And I'm sure that if they invite Tinubu, he will not go. So if Tinubu is ready today to talk to Arise Television, to be grilled by the media in Nigeria, they will open door for him. So nobody is giving Obi undue access. So these are some of the lies they spin to confuse the people. Tinubu said in a statement issued in Abuja on Friday night by his campaign council director, media and publicity, Mr. Bayo Onanoga, that Obi's comments could incite violence and discredit an election deemed free and fair. Who deemed the 2023 presidential election free and fair? Who? Something that has been roundly condemned by the international community, by international observers, by even OAU observers. So who deemed it free and fair? It's only in the fertile imagination of the of Tinubu that the election is free and fair, not any other place. Because most Nigerians, most international community are aware of this. That is why till date, as I'm talking to you now, President Biden has refused to recognize or congratulate the president-elect as announced by INEC. Now let's go on. He said, as a result, Tinubu believes that Peter Obi's criminally false and inciting statements about the election were intended to persuade the court to cancel it so that Obi and Atiku can campaign together in a new election. I think by Onanoga and Tinubu, they are getting it wrong. Obi is not teaming up with Atiku Abubakar for anything. Obi strongly believe that he won the election. Obi will be the last person to tell you that Atiku Abubakar won this election. If it is going to be cancelled, that's left for the presidential election to be cancelled. That's left for the court to decide. But I can tell you for free, from my understanding, from my reading and understanding of Peter Obi, he is not there for anybody, but for him to prove a point that this country can be made better. And he believed that he is the one that could engineer it. He said, Tinubu said Peter Obi still goes around inflaming passion, spreading lies as if he is still campaigning for the highest office in the land. Weeks after the exercise was concluded and the winner announced. The process has not yet been concluded. Perhaps Tinubu is not aware of this. The process, the exercise has not been concluded until the Supreme Court rules. That is a fact. He continues. He said, we are worried about his recent media rounds on Arise TV and Channels TV, in which he made profoundly misleading, criminally false and inciting statements about the election that he lost woefully. I want to look at this issue, misleading. Go and watch the interview on Arise TV and Channels Television. There is nothing that Peter Obi said there that is misleading. There is not even already things that all most reasonable Nigerians are saying. And he said that Obi lost woefully. Obi didn't lose woefully. Obi didn't lose woefully at all. Even going by the Jundi's and alleged manufactured results, Obi didn't lose woefully. I think he better go and look at what it means to lose woefully. Obi won 12 states. Tinubu himself won 12 states. Atiku won 12 states. Given the humongous amount of money that goes into Tinubu's campaign, the millions, billions in dollars that was spent, even for APC primary alone, the millions of dollars that was spent, the billions of naira that was spent, the billions that state governors of APC and everything else they did, they could only manage to win 12 states. And there will be, when they give shish, won 12 states. I think they should go and read again what is the meaning of woefully, losing woefully. Obi didn't lose woefully. Because even his votes, the votes that Tinubu are claiming to be his vote now, are being disputed. The votes in Lagos, the votes in Rivers State, the votes in Benue State, the votes in Akwa Ibom State, so many other places that the votes are being challenged. Tinubu's so-called votes. If you take cognizance of all this, you will know that Peter Obi didn't lose woefully. In fact, he didn't lose. From all I can tell him, Peter Obi didn't lose this election. And when the real results are tabulated, Peter Obi will have the highest vote, valid votes in the 2023 presidential election. Continue, he now said, we call on the security agencies to caution him from further making incendiary comments, especially after he claimed he is challenging the result of the election in the tribunal. Of course, that's the interview that Peter Obi granted. Tinubu was able to see it, but he didn't see the MCO Lomo threats to Igbos in Lagos that they should not come out unless they want to vote for APC. That one, it escaped the ego eye of Asiwaju to see that one. Acts on Arise Television. That's I'm continuing from what Bayo Nanuga is saying on behalf of Tinubu, because it's Tinubu he's speaking for. So it's Tinubu that makes this comment. Acts on Arise TV about his loss. Obi derided the election, considered by many to be the best in our recent history. Who are the people that consider this? Who are the many Nigerians who consider this election the best the country has ever seen in our recent history? Who are those? He said Obi described it recklessly as probably the worst and wrong election and not God's way. Of course, many of us will agree with Peter Obi that it's probably the worst the country has ever seen. And Obi was right to say that it is not God's will, because one of the anchors, asked him that the outcome of the election, even though it was flawed, some people are saying he should just go ahead. We should go ahead with what we have gotten, that it is God's will that Asiwaju has emerged, so we can go on with that. He's right to say that it's not God's will, because God's will follow righteous path. Anything that you achieve without the righteous path is not God's will. And Obi was right to reference even train robbers, because if train robbers can be jailed and can be seen to be a terrible thing, so does it mean that if a train robber now go and train and kidnap people and invite all of us, that we are going to accept it? He said no, that would be robbery. Because a train robber cannot come and bring the money and say this is the God's will for him. And Obi was clear about it. He even made more examples. He said, do you say that the 133 million Nigerians who are living in poverty, multidimensional poverty, that is the will of God? The 95 million Nigerians under extreme poverty is God's will? Is that God's will? Is it God's will that we don't have electricity in Nigeria? Is it God's will that we have the highest maternal mortality in Nigeria? Those things are not God's will. Therefore, a stolen election, a leadership that marched from a stolen election cannot be a God's will. That's what he's saying. And you cannot dispute that, whether from a spiritual context or from a physical context. He was absolutely right. So, Tinubu's emergence, as far as Peter Obi is concerned, the process that led to it is not God's will. It's not the will of God. And if you know how God operates, God doesn't operate outside the realm of righteousness. An armed robber kills somebody and pack the person's money and begin to enjoy himself, saying it's God's will. That cannot be God's will. Now let's continue again. He was talking about Peter Obi. He also flatly wore the toga of a political scientist, redefining democracy, which the world knows as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. According to Obi, to win in democracy is to win the people. The declared winner, Bola Tinubu, did not win. That is what we are challenging. And this statement is also on point. Very, very on point. Because to win the people, if democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people, it means winning the hearts and minds of the people. And he said it, from what Obi said, it is obvious that the hearts and minds of the people are not with Tinubu. You can see that after he was announced at the early hours of the morning, when most Nigerians were still asleep, there was no jubilation, there was no excitement. Go and check the announcement of Jonathan's victory in 2011, the excitement in the air that a fresh air is about to envelop Nigeria. Or look at the jubilation in Nigeria when Buhari won his first election in 2015. That change has come to Nigeria. There was excitement. Some people even died in their excitement, riding motorcycle in all manners of dangerous ways that consume people's life, all in celebration. Nobody, not to my knowledge, have I seen spontaneous joy, because the hearts and minds of the people are not with the INEC announced president-elect. Because if they are, I don't see why they should be. People will be hiding their joy that Tinubu has taken over as president-elect of Nigeria. Why are Nigerians not celebrating? Even the Southwest. Why didn't we see spontaneous joy in Southwest? That shows the hearts and minds of the people have not been won over. So what Peter Obi was saying was actually reality. It was a reality. And he continued. Tinubu continued. He said on Channels Television a few days later, Obi made the ridiculous claim about his stolen mandate, echoing the position of his unthinking mob of supporters who believe that he won the election because some sponsored polls claimed before the election. Peter Obi did not sponsor, I can say this with certainty. Peter Obi did not sponsor any opinion poll. Those opinion polls were done by those who decided to do the opinion polls. He couldn't have sponsored the Bloomberg poll. He couldn't have sponsored Next Year poll and all those other polls. They did it on their own. In fact, the people that sponsored poll are the APC and the PDP. When they sponsor their own opinion poll, they have to spend millions, if not billions of naira to put it as wrap around so that Nigerians can see it that a particular opinion poll has said that they are likely to win. They are the only ones that sponsor the opinion poll. And when you read through their opinion poll, which they put at the covers of newspapers, you can go and check all those newspapers they put it. They paid newspaper houses, at least many newspaper houses collected millions of naira just to put it as wrap around in their papers. That was an opinion poll that was unbelievable, and they paid for it. So they are the ones that, you see, one thing about these people, things they do, they blame others that they are the ones actually doing it, but they were the ones that do it. They were the ones that sponsored. APC sponsored opinion poll to favor them, and they paid money to newspaper houses to carry it as wrap around. And they are not even ashamed of that. To accuse Peter Obi of that, it's unfair. It's unfair. They can't continue to deceive Nigerians. So those opinion polls were actually accurate. Maybe I need to do another video to show that they were absolutely right. if not for the rigging machine that was displayed on the presidential election day. Now he continued. He said, we consider the claim by the former governor of Anambra as very fraudulent, as he falls short of winning any mandate. He came third, not even second, losing by 2.6 million votes to President-elect Bola Tinubu, despite getting outrageously padded votes from his ethnic South East states. In fact, it will soon be proven, Nigerians will see it, that Tinubu was the one that actually got a lot of padded votes from Rivers State to Akwa Ibom and to Lagos. It will be shown. It will soon be exposed. It will soon be exposed. They were the one that padded vote. Peter Obi doesn't even have the capacity. With which capacity? Is it not the same Peter Obi that they say is structureless? Because when they were talking about structure, it means that at least you have councillors, local government chairmen, state assembly members, senators, House of Reps that can help you to rig elections. So, who will rig election for Peter Obi? Where is the structure to rig? Even if Peter Obi is a man who wants to rig, it's not possible. They know they are lying to themselves. Nobody padded any vote for Peter Obi in the Southeast. In fact, what they did was deliberate marginalization of Southeast on the election day, because many Southeast people were denied the ability, the chance to vote. Because if they all had voted, if INEC had come on time, if they had not come with all manner of useless excuses, that they didn't have the report, the result sheet, they didn't have this or that, they didn't have ink. If they had come on time in many Southeast polling units, it would have been something else. But it was deliberate to make sure that Peter Obi's belief stronghold would not be able to come out in large numbers to give him the necessary support. Continuing, he said, from the false narrative Obi has been pushing, he is the one trying to steal Tinubu's mandate by appealing unashamedly to tribal and religious sentiments and by resorting to his sickening penchant for lying bold-facedly to snatch what does not belong to him. I told you these people, they are experts in lies, in turning things around against anybody. But they have made their Waterloo in this Peter Obi mandate. These are the people, this is the same Tinubu that say, it is my turn, it is Yoruba turn, it is Yoruba turn, it is my turn. Just this thing I said to you, type it on Google right now. You see the stories pop up. Tinubu saying that it is Yoruba turn, it is my turn. Why is it that Tinubu ran on Muslim ticket? It's as a result of religious sentiment. He wanted to use religion to win the election. And this is the same people that are not ashamed to accuse Peter Obi that he want to use religion. That shows you the kind of people they are. They don't even have conscience. You ran on a Muslim ticket because of religious sentiment. You are the one that says it is Yoruba turn, it is my turn. You are now accusing Peter Obi, who has never told anybody to vote for him because he's a Christian, or vote for him because he's from Southeast, or because he's Igbo. It's on record. I'll put it under this video. On record that Tinubu attended a Ramadan lecture in Osun State, where he said that Buhari should be succeeded by another Muslim. He was telling a Muslim leader, Spring Council for Islamic Affairs conference in Osogbo before the election, that a Muslim should replace Buhari or should succeed Buhari. So these are the same people that go about talking about religion. They are the ones that use religion effectively. And they succeeded in doing that because Even there's a lot of Christians that are nonchalant about their own religion. So that's why they were able to get away with all that. Then he continued. He said he is trying to present himself before his case takes off in court as a helpless, cheated victim of the system, robbed of a mandate by INEC. He is trying to position himself as the candidate who was the people, who is loved by the people, going by his self-serving definition of democracy. Mr. Peter Obi is loved by the people. There is no doubt. Most people who show, anybody who shows, most people who say anything nice about Tinubu are actually people who hope to benefit from him, or those who have benefited financially from him in a country that they have weaponized poverty. So when somebody call you aside and give you 10,000 naira, give you 100,000 naira, give you 2 million naira, he becomes like your God. They have weaponized poverty. But for that, I don't think there's any excitement people get. Buhari is not like Buhari. Buhari has people's love. There are people who love Buhari genuinely. But even Buhari's love is just within his own segment of Northeast and Northwest. But Peter Obi's love goes beyond South, South, Southeast to anywhere he sets his foot in. Southwest, North Central, what have you. It's organic. It can only be God that gives such aura that attracts so much love, so much admiration. Tinubu lacks that for so many reasons, of course. Then he continued. He said his antics, if he can sway the judges, is to make them cancel the entire election, even without significant substantial proof of malpractice. This will pave way for his dream alliance with the PDP, the second losing party, in a fresh election. I think he's getting these things wrong. I think Tinubu's analysis of the whole thing is wrong. Peter Obi is not, he has been asked this question, he's not going to be into any kind of alliance with Tinubu, or with Atiku, if the election is cancelled. So it doesn't really make sense. He said the PDP presidential candidate spoke about his readiness to enter into such alliance in his poll press conference, as he accused Obi of taking his votes in the South, South, and Southeast. We hope that the men and women of the judiciary will not fall for the Obi's cheap tactics and examine the cases before them on merit and based on substantial evidence presented to them. Let us remind Obi once again that he is welcome to the court, where he is bound to lose woefully. Okay? We are going to see what will happen. He said that Obi will lose in court woefully. Okay. In one breath, you say that Obi is trying to influence the court. Now you already know that he will lose woefully. Okay. He said, finally, we advise Mr. Obi to stop attacking the integrity of the election just because he did not win the majority votes and the constitutionally spread in 24 states. Well, Obi is not the only one attacking the integrity of the election. The whole world are attacking it. And that is why the APC is running from pillar to post, looking for governments that will endorse them, will congratulate them. That's why the APC, why Tinubu himself, they have to remind Joe Biden, the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, that he has not yet congratulated Tinubu. Okay? Why? Because Joe Biden also has information about what played out in that election. Election in which they were able to transmit Senate and House of Representatives, upload it to the INEC server. But when it comes to uploading the presidential election, no BVAS machine could be able to do it in 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And you want the international community to recognize such fraud as real. I think they are taking the international community for granted. Of course, that's what it means. You think that they are fools, they don't know what they are doing. They don't have ambassadors here. They don't have even secret service agents of their countries. The CIA and what have you, they are not here in Nigeria. They don't know what is going on. Only the APC people and their presidential candidates know that the election was perfect, the best the world has ever seen. And he went on, he said that Obi should stop deceiving his gullible followers and raising unrealistic hopes about reclaiming the presidency from Asiwaju Tinubu. Well, I think Tinubu will prove in court and INEC will come and prove how they arrive at his being declared president-elect, because there are a lot of questions that are unanswered in that aspect. So Nigerians will be waiting for that. Then he said, we also advise the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission to caution TV houses giving Peter Obi platform to delegitimize a free and fair election when he has taken his case to court. The election is only free and fair to the APC members and INEC officials that announce it, but not to the rest of Nigerians. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you and yours.